Good morning, friends. My name is Alex Williams, and I am one of our pastors here at Grace Chapel, and I wanted to give you a few helpful tips about recording a video for our use in worship or social media, or just general tips if you're looking to record a video of yourself during this pandemic time. I know that if you've never done it before, it can be quite tricky and frustrating, so I wanted to give you a few tips about how to record better videos. All right, so number one, the first thing you want to make sure you do if you are going to send a video in to be edited is you want to leave a little bit of time before you start your video, while you're recording, and after. A lot of times we will see people record videos where they start talking immediately when the recording starts, or they hit end right when they stop talking. And when we edit the videos, we need a little time before and after to make sure that we can cut pieces together. Otherwise, we get some words cut off from what you've said, and we don't want to lose anything anyone has said. So make sure you hit record, pause for a few seconds. I'll cut any weird, awkward faces that you have off, don't worry. But pause for a few seconds and then begin talking. And then once you're finished, pause for a few seconds before you stop the recording. Number two, the second thing I want to talk to you about is our recording angle. So it's always good to shoot more from above. Humans look better when we are looking up a little bit. You can see more into your eyes. A lot of times we get a lot of videos like this where people have the video, down on a desk or something, and you end up looking down. A lot of times you'll end up with a big double chin or a scrunchy beard like I've got here. So you always want to make sure you've got more of an elevated angle. Number three, you always want to make sure when you're sending in a video that you have it in landscape mode like I have here. So I've got my phone turned sideways. You want to make sure that you always have your phone turned sideways and start the video that way. If you do a vertical format like this where you're just holding your phone normally like you see it, what ends up is we have to cut off, and there are these big black bars on either side because that's not the aspect ratio that the video is set up for. Now, if you're recording like a Facebook Live video or an Instagram Live video, vertical is a great way to do that because people are only looking at it on their phone. But because we have our videos all over websites and our live stream and social media that are consumed both on phones and on tablets and desktops and laptops, we always want to be landscape when we can. All right, number four, you want to be thinking about where you're putting your camera. Are you holding it in your hand and using this sort of selfie mode, or do you have like a tripod? So I've got the camera on a tripod right now, so it sits very still. I can make sure it's in the right place. I can frame what's in the background, and I can use both of my hands. I can be more than an arm's length away from the camera, which is always good. So if you've got a little tripod, you can lean it up, and even better, if you've got a friend or a family or a loved one who's in the house and they can hold the phone for you and use the front camera, not the selfie camera, but the camera on the front of the phone to record you, the video will be much higher quality. So again, if you can get some sort of tripod or something, I've got this little one here. It's just a little thing that came on Amazon. It was like $15. You can pick something like that up, and that's a great way to be able to have a hands-free recording that will look a lot better. You also want to be aware of where you're looking, and you may notice that I'm sort of looking all over the place. When you're doing a selfie photo like this, recording yourself where you can see yourself on the screen, the camera is over here, but I'm looking at the screen over here, and so that's why you see me sometimes looking back and forth like this, back and forth. You always want to know where the camera lens is, and that's what you want to look at, because that will make it feel to the audience like you are actually looking at them. All right, number five is lighting. We see a lot of people that record videos, and it seems like there's a lot of light in the room, but there's not. And so we end up with these really dark videos, and then the sun will go down, and then you just kind of can't see anybody at all, and you're wondering, where did they go? In addition to sitting in the dark, sometimes people will stand in front of a window, and that seems great because a lot of light comes in, but as you can see here, it totally washes out what's behind you, and you can't see anything. So you don't ever want to stand in front of a window like this or a really bright light. You want the light to be coming from in front of you, so it lights your face really well, and people can see you, but they're not blinded by the background light that's happening behind you. All right, number six is background noise. Throughout this, I don't know if you've been able to hear, but the Sound of Music is playing in the other room. Our son Simon, our youngest, is obsessed with the movie The Sound of Music, and so it's kind of going at all times. And sometimes you can't help that, and there's noise just going on in your home, but whenever you can help it, you want to try to find a room that is as quiet as possible so that your audio can be picked up very clearly. All right, and finally, number seven, whenever you're ready to send your file over to us, you can email it to us if the file is small enough, but if the file is too large to email, that limit is usually 15, 20, or 25 megabytes, depending on your email server. You're going to want to find a different way to transfer that. Sometimes you can just bring us a flash drive if you're coming to to be at the church at some point and drop that off, is a quick way to transfer that. We can send you a link to a Google Drive folder that you can upload it in that way. There are many ways to transfer larger files online if you're not able to email it. What you don't want to do is have it compress it down and degrade the video. We get a lot of videos that are very grainy and hard to see. They're real choppy because the phone has chopped it down to a small enough file size to send over email, and you end up with a really terrible looking video. So we don't want that to happen either. So when in doubt, just email me, alex@grace380.org, and I can help you figure out the way to troubleshoot any problems you're having and find a great way to get your video transferred over to us so that we can make sure that it is whole and intact and looks beautiful. We're trying to work to get more people involved here in the COVID pandemic. We're trying to make sure that we can see each other's faces, and through video is one of the best ways to do that. We want to make sure that all your questions are answered as you're trying to navigate this world. We're here to help. So we love you so much, and thank you for being a part of this church that we all love so much.